Hi everybody, I want to talk about something today. So a couple of days ago, or rather actually it was 2 weeks ago, I nearly lost 220 odd pounds for an item that I think I paid 150 locally through Facebook Marketplace, and I used it for a bit, tried it out, and then decided to sell it because I didn't need it anymore. It was one of them impulse buys, you know, when you're like looking at stuff and going, I can probably use that. So anyway, on eBay it was selling for 250, 200, depending on what accessories. I'm not going to name this item because then it'll be too easy to find out on eBay what it is. But turns out that somebody actually bought it off me, and they had bought it through GSP, which is the global shipping program. And to be honest, it's my first experience with the global shipping program where I've encountered a problem. My past transactions through global shipping have been perfect. I've shipped the item, it's been delivered to the GSP unit, and they've sent it quite quickly to the country destination. Except America, it has always taken a bit longer, but it's always got there. I mean, I've even sold an Amiga for £700, and it arrived safely, and the guy gave me amazing feedback on it. But this time, my product shipped to GSP within 3 days. It arrived there, and then it stayed there for a couple of days. And then next minute, I get an email to say that your item has been destroyed at GSP. Turns out the guy is from China, and in China the item that is perfectly fine to purchase here and to sell it here was banned. And then it took nearly 2 weeks of me going back and forth with eBay, calling them up, asking them what's going on. eBay told me first, message the guy, tell him to do an item not received case, and then we'll sort it out. It says you're protected. Then another week went past, I think, and then I spoke to eBay again, and then they told me, well, you need to actually tell the guy that that he wants to return the item. And I was like, well, he never received the item in the first place to return it. I said, no, just tell him that to open a case for returned. And then it just went silent. I had no communication from the guy after the initial case where he opened the item not received case. I told him that, well, I've shipped it, it's arrived in GSP, and it's eBay's responsibility. And then after a long back and forth with eBay, they finally sent me an email to say, hey, we will refund the buyer. And when I read that first, I was like, oh my god, refund the buyer? Does that mean I don't get my money back, or do you take it back? Because all this time about £220 was on my hold, and I couldn't access that. And then as I read the email further, it says, but you can keep the money. So in the end, turns out to be eBay was quite good at dealing with that case. But I think something to learn from that is when I was reading the terms and conditions of GSP, it does actually tell you to check if the item that you're selling is actually allowed in certain countries. It's kind of hard to find out whether something is allowed in a country or whether something's not allowed in a country. So I think going forward, it's a matter of, if I'm listing something that I think could possibly be banned in certain countries, is to actually double check. I'm going to try and find out if there's a way to check on Google. But if you guys know anyway, any methods that you guys use or have used in the past to check if an item is actually allowed in certain areas, let me know. Now, as I say, this is my first time that I've had this happen. GSP's always been good with me. All my parcels have always arrived on time, and it's been a really beneficial side where, if people in your country are not interested in it, there's always somebody in a different country that is interested in it. I mean, I've sold Nintendo Game & Watch. I was getting loads of silly offers when I had it only at £60, but I had loads of silly offers for like £20 and £25 in from the UK in itself. But then a GSP offer not actually, it wasn't an offer, they just bought it straight at the price that I was asking for, and I think they paid another £30 on top to actually ship it to their country. So there's always collectors. Even the Tamagotchis, one of them Tamagotchi that I think was a Digimon one, I had listed it for 200. I thought maybe somebody will give me an offer, because I had no idea on how much it was exactly worth, because the one I had not been has no history on eBay. It was very limited, so I thought, you know what, the other versions go for about 150, let me put 200 on it. And that's somebody from abroad bought it. I think it was from Germany, paid straight, was delivered within less than a week to Germany, and yeah, they gave me an amazing feedback to say how much of a mint condition it was, and that they were adding it to their collection. So take home from that, if you have had any bad stories from GSP, let me know. It's always worth sharing it, so that something that we can avoid the next time. But going forward, I'll definitely be checking whether items are banned in certain countries, because it was really scary having 220 odd pounds, considering that I would have lost 150 pounds of my own money if I hadn't had that back. Not only that, I would also lose the shipping, etc. So definitely I'm very pleased that eBay was able to resolve it, thanks to eBay and GSP. Then I've got the money back. In the meantime, stay tuned for more videos. I'll see you all on the next one.